On today's episode of The Unwritten Rule, it is the running backs position preview. First and foremost, sorry about the delay. All three of us, Kenny, Payton, and I, were all traveling on Sunday, so we could not record. So we're just dropping this a little later Monday afternoon, but we will be back to normal programming. Show will be out at midnight Friday morning. We'll do offensive line for that position preview on Friday, but a great show. Talked all about the running back position, big Ahmad Hardy heavy show. Talked about our kind of expectations for him, as well as the rest of the room, kind of the depth. Kenny gave some comments from Curtis Luper and what he said about it at that recent media availability, and gave some takes on the other running backs as well, along with Hardy. Some stock was maybe invested into one of the true freshmen that are coming in for Mizzou football at the running back position. So great position preview. And then we finished up with quick hits, had some news, talked about the Drinkwitz extension from a couple of days ago, as well as gave our takes on Sam Horn signing with the Dodgers, what it kind of means for him and Mizzou and all that stuff. So good show overall. We'll get right into it. The Unwritten Rule starts right now.
Marcel, where are you going with that disc? You are not putting that on again. Marcel, okay, if you press that button, you are in very, very big trouble.
Attention. Everybody stop what you're doing. It's time for The Unwritten Rule, a Mizzou sports podcast brought to you by the Believe Network, alongside Peyton Haverman and Kenny Van Doren. Here is your host, Jack Knowlton.
Welcome back to The Unwritten Rule. Today is Monday, July 28th. First and foremost, I know we tweeted a very professionally done program note with our signature, our collective Unwritten Rule signature, which is the GIF that Kenny tweeted.
Master Chief doing the Tootsie slide, I think.
Indeed, that is our signature.
It was called the Renegade.
As a podcast.
I couldn't remember if it was the Tootsie slide or the Renegade.
I'll forgive you for that one. Apologies for the program note. You might be listening to this show on Monday. We're sorry we did not drop the show right on Monday morning. We were unable to record Sunday. We were all traveling, all busybodies on some trips as we get into August. But we still have a show for your Monday and, for the rest of your week until our typical Friday show. And we are continuing with the position previews for Mizzou football. We did quarterbacks for the last show. So go check that out. We'll have some more quarterback talk in quick hits too. Don't you worry. But we're going to do running backs, keeping kind of our order in the offense to start for Mizzou football, taking a look at the running back position ahead of the 2025 season. It's an interesting room. Obviously, there's kind of one headliner, coming in from the roster. One of the newcomers, of course, that's Ahmad Hardy. You have a couple of returners in Jamal Roberts and Tavoris Jones, and a few freshmen that I'm curious to get more of Kenny's takes on. That I know I've heard from you about them kind of over the months since they've committed, Kenny. But I'm curious your thoughts kind of as we get close to the season on them in Marquise Davis and Brendan Haygood, not Brandon. Couple of 4-stars there. And then I threw Anthony Favreau on there too, because I know quarterbacks, we didn't include everyone on the roster. There was no Tommy Locke mentioned. So I'm making sure for the rest of the positions, we get absolutely everybody that's listed in the room. Is there anyone I forgot, Kenny?
No, I mean, he has a scholarship. So he's a scholarship player. He got one.
Really? I would not have guessed. Okay.
He got one this offseason. They did the big video where they were done like running stairs just at Memorial Stadium, just running bleachers. And then at the end, Drinkwitz goes, "Oh, and Anthony Favreau, you're now on scholarship." Everyone goes wild.
Oh,
so it was one of those
fun
ones.
Yeah, I kind of vaguely recall that, actually, now that you say that. But yeah, Anthony Favreau, of course, as well as in the running back room. So obviously the headliner is Ahmad Hardy. You have a couple of interesting returners, a couple of pretty high profile freshmen, at least, that are expected, I think, to be kind of long-term contributors. We're running the same format as we did for the show we did on the quarterbacks. So fellas, I'll let either one of you start. The thing you're most excited for the running back room. I think there's an obvious here that I'm happy to talk about, but I'm curious y'all's takes, maybe in addition to Ahmad Hardy. But I think collectively, I think we can agree that Ahmad Hardy building on his freshman All-American season is probably what we're all most excited about.
Yeah, it's Ahmad Hardy, 100%, no doubt about it. We said going into last year when Mizzou got both Carroll and Nate Noel, we kind of expected, and I'm pretty sure we talked about it, that we expected it to be more of a by committee last year. That wound up definitely being the case, and even more so because Jamal Roberts wound up doing a very nice job and working his way into being really kind of the more I think the third down back that the coaches trusted the most for a lot of the season. He wound up being very good in pass blocking situations when needed and everything like that. But I think this year you're definitely looking more at like what it wound up being in 2023 with Cody Schrader, with Ahmad Hardy. I think Ahmad Hardy is going to be the more of the bell cow. I think he's going to get a pretty big majority of this of the carries from that running back position. I mean, some of the numbers, I mean, from just being a freshman, yes, it was in the Sun Belt, but 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns. I mean, that's just absurd numbers for a guy in his first year of college. And this, I mean, we talked about it when he committed as well. I mean, some of the numbers from PFF even are off the charts. I mean, PFF College posted on X back in December when he committed to Mizzou that he forced 94 missed tackles in 2024. That was second to only Ashton Genty, who of course finished runner-up for the Heisman. So I think this is a guy that's definitely coming in and expected to get the vast majority of the carries. I think that we kind of expected that, especially after Kawan Lacey left, because I do think Jamal Roberts will get a fair amount of carries. I think he'll definitely be a guy you see a lot when you need a good pass blocker in the backfield. But when you need a guy to, like, when we're looking at what Mizzou is trying to do on the ground, run that wide zone, it's become really their bread and butter the last few years. That's going to be the Ahmad Hardy show. And I think that's easily the most exciting thing going into next season.
Well, my part kind of contradicts what you're saying, Payton, because when Curtis Luper spoke on Sunday, one of the big things that he pushed is that this is the deepest running back room that he's seen at Missouri, because he thinks size-wise, you look at it, I'll run down the list just on how much these guys are weighing right now. Marquise Davis, who's a true freshman, is 6 foot flat, 213 pounds. Jamal Roberts, 6 foot, 212 pounds. Tavoris Jones, who's been around for a long time in this room as well, one of the older guys, him and Anthony Favreau, he's at 6 foot, 212. Or 6 foot, 207. Ahmad Hardy, 5'10", 206. Anthony Favreau, 5'8", 206. And then Brendan Haygood, another freshman, at 5'10", 190. And one of the big things that he pushed for is that you have to be over 200 pounds, like in the SEC, to succeed. Like it is like the best conference in football for a reason. And they want guys that are pushing 200 pounds, and they want a bunch of them, because they believe that you're going to need 2-3 running backs. He said not everyone is Tyler Beatty, not everyone is Cody Schrader in 2023, to where that they're going to get the lion's share. They're going to be the number one guy. And so I think the most exciting part about this room, and just from what Curtis Luper was saying on Sunday, is the depth. I think he is just very excited with the different tools that he has at his running backs. Like Payton was mentioning with Ahmad Hardy, really fits that wide zone scheme. And we'll get more into the broken tackles here in a little bit and just what he's able to do after contact. But Marquise Davis is a speed threat guy in the backfield, doesn't really say much, does what he needs to do. And he was big on defense too in high school at the beginning, so he's not afraid of contact either. And like Payton mentioned too, Jamal Roberts coming back as a seasoned blocker in the backfield and can do multiple things. I think that's one of the bigger exciting things, is that this is a very complete running back room, and I think it'll work well for an offense that hasn't named its quarterback yet. So I think it's good that there's a lot of weapons for whoever's going to be under center, whoever's going to be in the backfield.
That's a really interesting you say all that, Kenny, because I was going to bring that up almost as my like on paper, and it seems like you two kind of both alleviated it with what you said. I was going to bring that up on paper as my biggest concern from I hate to go into hypotheticals of, what happens if Ahmad Hardy goes down for any extended period of time. But it sounds like, both Curtis Luper and Payton, you seemed impressed. And I think I was too, in the limited sample size we got of Jamal Roberts last year. But I think, like, if you then spin this into if you don't want to call it a concern, but maybe the biggest like question in terms of you actually, it's great to hear all that from Curtis Luper. It's great that those guys seem to be meeting the, I guess, sort of measurable requirements that you need to succeed in this league. I think that's my biggest question is kind of, how much are these two returners going to make a jump? Jamal Roberts, I think being chief among them, you're expecting Ahmad Hardy. I guess you're going to get him guaranteed, assuming he doesn't transfer for at least 2 more seasons. You have to, but who's going to kind of make that jump behind him and provide some of that support? Because of course Mizzou has been very blessed, particularly in the Drinkwitz era. You bring up those Beatty and Schrader seasons of sometimes having a running back that can just take over. But I think that depth is important. So it's interesting you say that kind of counteracts my sort of biggest, I guess, concern or question, if you will, is God forbid Ahmad Hardy goes down for whatever reason and has to miss time. I hate to put that out in the universe at all, but it's going to be interesting to see one of those two guys, in I think Jones or Roberts, likely Jamal Roberts, stepping up as an RB1. I think there's some question marks there, but it sounds like Curtis Luper is confident in those guys.
He mentioned too, when he was talking about the weight, even like last year, Nate Noel, he said he was kind of hovering around 190. And when you get into the season, I mean, you're losing weight in the heat too, and you lose weight during the practices, and you're always trying to stay around one. And he mentioned, Nate Noel missed a couple games. I don't think that was necessarily maybe always in response or being banged up because of his size, but they want guys who can be able to take hits and, play through that. And even Drinkwitz joked, maybe not joked, but he brought it up, the best ability is availability. That's one of the big things that they always push, keep yourself right, keep yourself in an opportunity to always be ready to be on the field. So I think they're just, Curtis Luper sounded, so excited. He brought it up multiple times in multiple answers about the size of these running backs and how they just kind of fit the billing, especially early on with Marquise Davis too. Like they did it last year with Kawan Lacey, trying to get him on the field early, getting him early reps, trying to get him as poised to be the next running back next year. And if that happens, you probably don't get Ahmad Hardy, but I think they're going to try to do the same thing with Marquise Davis, just get him up to speed, because they were mentioning it. They mentioned his weight, or Curtis Luper mentioned his weight, mentioned he's like a 4.4 in the 40, something in that range. He's very speedy too. And he's like, they need to get him on the field, and any opportunity that you get a first down, you're going to stay on the field more, is something he added. So they're pretty, Curtis Luper sounded really excited just about what he has right now.
One thing I am curious about, and maybe I did say I think that Hardy is going to get the lion's share, and I still do think that. I am curious, just kind of going through the roster, who maybe will step up and like fill that void that Marcus Carroll had, because Marcus Carroll, I think, probably had bigger expectations in terms of being more of the workhorse. But one thing he did really well last year, I want you guys to guess how many rushing touchdowns he had last year. It's far and away the most on the team. Nate Noel had 3, to put that into perspective. And I believe Jamal Roberts also had 3. How many do you think?
It was,
is it 8?
Yeah.
More.
I think it was like 11.
12?
12. He had 12 rushing touchdowns.
I just looked at all this yesterday and I couldn't retain that.
Yeah. So Ahmad Hardy, I mean, Ahmad Hardy is not a small back. I believe Mizzou has him listed at like 206, 207.
Yeah.
In that range.
What'd you say? Like 5? Isn't it like 5'8", 206 is what you said? This is a bowling ball.
Yeah, he's 5'10", 206 according
5'10".
to ESPN.
That's Mizzou's too.
Okay.
That's okay. So that's not a small, like a tiny guy. Like Nate Noel, like you said, Kenny, was hovering around 190 last year. But maybe like if you get into the goal line, I do wonder if that's where maybe we see a bit of Marquise Davis come into the fold, because he is the heaviest back. He's 6 foot flat and 213. That strikes me as a guy that could be really effective in the red zone. And I think that's going to be a void that we kind of have to see Mizzou fill early on, is who, when you need to punch it in from 2-3 yards out and the bodies are getting bigger, the field is condensed, you can't really throw it, who's going to be that guy to punch it in? So I am curious, especially after you mention all those comments, Luper just speaking glowingly of the depth of the room. I wonder who maybe will step up and just kind of be that power back.
Yeah, I'm intrigued too. I mean, Jamal Roberts, just to put like the numbers to it too, I don't think I said him, is 54 carries, 213 yards. He had those 3 touchdowns, like Payton mentioned. Tavoris Jones, 20 for 80, didn't have a touchdown. It's interesting with Hardy now to project like what a good, season kind of looks like. Like I went back and I was looking under Drinkwitz, when they had those big seasons from guys like Cody Schrader. When he had that 1,600-yard season, Nate Pete was the second leading rusher at 317 yards. And then you go back to the one with Tyler Beatty. Second leading rusher that year was Elijah Young, 162 yards. So, I think something in the middle of that, if it's Jamal Roberts, putting up a similar season overall, and then maybe, some fun Marquise Davis stuff where maybe he has some crazy stat line where it's, only 130 yards total on the year, but he has like 5 touchdowns or something just because he does become that goal line back. That is an interesting way to use the depth. I think for me, it just all comes back. And I've expressed this to you guys probably on air and off air. I think outside, Marquise Johnson is going to have he's going to be pushed very hard by Ahmad Hardy for my favorite player on this Mizzou team next year. I rewatched more highlights that I've already watched a couple times from him. Payton, I'm glad you brought it up. And you guys have both mentioned his frame. He is such an interesting runner because he's built like a kind of like a bowling ball, but he's not slow. Like he's quick. He likes to, get to the outside and kind of cut up, but he bounces off tacklers. And I know, again, he did it at the Sun Belt level, but he was bouncing off tacklers. Like, I think he's such an interesting just runner and just his like style, even when he gets in the open field, like he doesn't look like a track athlete. He kind of does the like covering up the ball style and is just, sort of running for his life. There's a lot of times when it looks like defenders are going to track him down and then just don't manage it. I don't know. I think my expectations are probably not going to be met because I'm just so excited for what he can bring. That'll go into my bold take too. But if any of you guys have any other thoughts, like just on the situational, use of the running back room. The other factor too, right, is I think this largely depends a little bit on who wins the quarterback job, I would think too, because if it is Prabula, you're going to use him a lot more in run first situations. I'm sure that kind of impacts how you use the running backs too. That was a thought that also popped in as I was thinking about this.
Right, and a lot of it also just depends on how the O-line kind of shapes up. I mean, they're only returning for sure 2 starters from last year in Tollison, assuming he's ready.
He is.
In Tollison and Caden Green. So that you're breaking in 3 new starters on the O-line, especially at both tackle positions, which are so key to be able to run wide zone effectively. And you have the unknown in the quarterback room. So there is a lot of different elements that are also going to affect how the whole run game operates. I don't know that I would say I expect, especially because I do think we all predicted last week that it would be Prabula. So I think that does obviously take carries away from guys. So I doubt you see maybe every single running back on the roster really kind of carve out a niche. But I do kind of like the idea of Hardy being the bell cow. I do think Davis is an intriguing option to be that goal line guy. And I think Jamal Roberts, clearly they trust him in passing down situations. So he'll have a niche. It's going to kind of come down to like, can guys like, I want Tavoris Jones to have a role. I really do. Because he is waited around so long, and I have a feeling Kenny is going to have a prediction that involves him later, because Kenny's been his biggest fan over the last few years. But Tavoris Jones has really been a guy that came in as a 4-star, had every reason to transfer, still hasn't gotten a ton of playing time. It was cool to see him play on that last drive of the Music City Bowl last year, but has still stuck around despite a lack of playing time. So I'd like to. It is intriguing to see if he might have a role, but I just am not sure where I'd be able to carve out carries for him right now.
I think then I'm intrigued then also to see where Kenny goes if he does do a Jones prediction. I'm gonna dance in happy hypothetical land for my bold running back prediction for the 2025 season. I'm going to make the case for Ahmad Hardy ends the year leading the SEC in rushing. That'll be my bold prediction. I saw a ranking that I think listed him 6th. I went through. There are 4 of the top 10 rushers in the SEC last season are back. The rest of them are all gone. The best one is Quintravion Wisner from Texas. He's back. There was a couple others that people might know. Le'Veon Moss from A&M had like 800 yards last year. Devin Booth from Mississippi State is back. There was LSU's running back, Caden Durham, who had like 800 as a true freshman. They were all interesting. This was just a nice, like, I delved into the SEC, like, new running backs. It was good to familiarize myself. There's some fun newcomers, too. I forgot Jaden Ott is at Oklahoma now. He had, like, over 1,000 yards at Cal 2 years ago. Two guys, there was a guy, South Carolina got a guy, Rashul Faison, who was a 1,100-yard rusher at Utah State last year. You've got a couple of other returners, Jaden Baugh at Florida, Nate Frazier at Georgia, were a couple guys. They both had like 670 last year. But I think it can be a little bit open. Hardy like has to hit, the ground running, no pun intended. But that's my bold prediction, is that maybe he does it. I think it's kind of an interesting year for running backs in the league.
I will say on that take, I do think Mizzou, especially considering I think that the QB run game is going to be massive if Prebula is the starter. I do think Mizzou as a team, I will say I think they will lead the league in rushing as a team. But because I think Prebula is going to be such a big factor of that, and obviously we don't know how Hardy's going to look for sure, I won't go so far as to say I think Hardy will individually lead the league. I like the prediction, though.
It's fair. I got to stand on it as he is now just fast becoming my favorite player on this team. I'm just so excited to watch him. I hope it lives up. But the nice thing is, again, transfer portal era, but in theory, he has 2 seasons at least at Mizzou before he tries to jet off for the pros. Kenny, you want to give your bold running back take?
Yeah, it kind of just developed over time as we were talking, and I was kind of looking at sizes of different running backs. When you try to compare Marcus Carroll, I know we kind of look at the weight, but I was also like looking at the height, of how like slippery some of these guys can be if they're a little bit smaller, especially in the end zone or in the red zone, and trying to score within the 5 or in the 10. The only guy who's like small enough to like really fit that billing of what Marcus Carroll was height wise is T-Man, Tavoris Jones. And I think, there's still a month, weight's going to change, maybe body types will adjust. People will drop weight, gain weight. I know, like we mentioned, that Mizzou likes the running backs over 200 pounds, and I don't think you're going to see any guys dip below that. And a guy like Brendan Haygood, who wasn't an early enrollee, he showed up in late May, and Marcus Davis, who showed up early and enrolled early, is kind of poised more for those carries. And you might see Brendan Haygood kind of just develop and redshirt probably this season, just with a lot of running backs in front of him. I'm going to say that Tavoris Jones scores at least 3 times this season in some capacity. I don't know if that's necessarily all going to be on the ground. Maybe there is a play where he jumps out of the backfield and catches a ball from Sam Horn, Bo Prebula, or Matt Zollers at this point, with Drinkwitz mentioning him still not being out of the competition. I'm going to say that. I think there's he stuck around for a reason. I don't necessarily think. There's a lot of like things out there. People say like, oh, just no reason to move anymore. He's probably had opportunities to go somewhere else. We joke about UTEP, probably needing a running back. He's from El Paso. But he stuck around, and I think, Luper's always liked him. Maybe there's an opportunity in this offense to score at least 3 times in 2025.
You know what, Kenny? I kind of dig that, because I was looking, like before I made the point about Marquise Davis, I was looking at the sizes, and I did notice that pretty similar build Tavoris Jones has to Marcus Carroll. I don't think I think Marquise Davis probably is the guy I'd circle as being the one to emerge as like the big power back. But I do think, I kind of do think you're right. I think that they will be able to reward Tavoris Jones in some way this year. My take kind of plays off of both of yours a little bit. I think Mizzou's running back room. So last year, Carroll had 12, Noel had 3, Roberts had 3. I don't believe any other running backs scored last year. So that's a total of 18 touchdowns. I'm going to say Mizzou's running back room this year will eclipse 20 touchdowns on the ground. I don't know. Like I'm not going to do a specific breakdown for each guy, but I do think, especially if Curtis Luper really does believe in the depth, like he told everyone, like Kenny mentioned, I think they'll find a way to get 20 touchdowns out of that room. I think somebody will really emerge as a good power back. Like Kenny said, if they like all over 200, this running back room is well suited because pretty much every one of them is over that 200-pound threshold. So I think Mizzou's running back room collectively will be a 20 touchdown room.
I don't want people to just think Marquise Davis is a power back. I did mention that speed with the 4.4, something in that range of the 40 is what Curtis Luper said. This is what he looks like as like if you're watching with us on the YouTube, like he is. I mean, that's not a power back. That is just every down back. The way he's already built as a freshman
guy in the future. Yeah. Hopefully,
like he's very toned for his age. Like he's already got the body for the position. So I just want people to know, like he has the physique to be an every down guy, and not just exactly what Payton was hoping for him to. I mean, I'm not saying that Payton's just saying that he's going to be the third down guy. But he's probably going to have a lot of opportunities to do a lot, just depending on when Ahmad Hardy's not on the field.
Yeah, I think that's obviously the hope in the future too. But I think asking a true freshman to come in, like Marquise Davis, obviously looks impressive, and coaches raved about him. He was the highest rated running back in Kentucky history, I believe, when he was committed there, depending on the recruiting service. So clearly he's a guy everyone is super high on. I doubt as a true freshman he comes in and beats like a true 3-down guy.
18, by the way, Payton, from a quick scan of research, is actually tied for the most. Mizzou has gotten that 3 times under Drinkwitz from their running back room. They've gotten more rushing touchdowns, obviously, in seasons, but from running back specifically, 18 3 times. They have never passed that. So that would be a good threshold to jump over that 20 mark from just the running backs. That doesn't include like Brady Cook.
Yeah, I mean,
quarterback touchdowns.
It hasn't always been one guy, but I mean, somehow, some way, Mizzou has always really been able to have a very effective rushing offense under Drinkwitz. I think that's the one thing I will definitely always give him credit for. Even throughout the years, I wasn't as big a fan of his. I'll give him credit. He's always found a way to have a good rushing game.
A quick Mount Rushmore: BJ Harris, Dawson Downing, Elijah Young, seeing their names as players who have all registered rushing touchdowns for Mizzou. I could try and find the fourth one, but
this was actually something that came up in my mind the other day. I just think about random stupid stuff. Dawson Downing, I know Payton didn't really finish out his career in a positive tone for you in the Armed Forces Bowl. But he was good friends with our friend Jack Sarkis. And I was thinking about this because I remember at a basketball game, Dawson Downing sat behind us. Do you guys remember this? Because he sat with our friend Jack Sarkis at a Mizzou Ben's basketball game.
So this
was
this year, clearly.
Yeah, came to sit with Jack. Another thing I just thought of, this is a really bad story, but when we were students at the University of Missouri, we went to a game. There was a linebacker, and I could not remember his name like right now, but he transferred in from Rice during the 2021 season. Blaze Aldridge. I was yelling at him after, I think, the Florida game, because all the players came up and were like in the student section. I was yelling Dawson at him, and I just for some reason thought he was Dawson Downing. I just didn't even like look at his number or even like look at him. I just saw a guy with blonde hair, like longish blonde hair, and I was like, oh my god, that's Dawson Downing, and like we know him, like because I remember sitting. He sat behind us at a basketball game. It was bad. It was. I just thought about that.
It's an
I don't remember the basketball thing, but they do look similar, so it's not that big a deal.
2 touchdowns in 5 seasons for Dawson Downing in his Mizzou career. All right, so there you go. There's a running back room preview. Ahmad Hardy, I think we're all just amped for, and it looks like we're all buying real estate on Marquise Davis Island. This is our the stock buy stock now, as one John Rothstein likes to say. We'll see how he kind of progresses through the rest of fall camp. But we will progress. Oh, Kenny, you have anything?
Yeah, I got 2 more things.
You got to just interrupt me, you guys.
I know.
Otherwise, I'm just going to segue.
I wish I had the Rivals stories are still kind of, they're not kind of, you can't read them right now. So the ones on the original Rivals website, they will be available like sometime around August 15th. But I did talk to Marquise Davis's coach, and like that's where I was getting kind of some of those notes about him. And I wish there's some good quotes in there. Like he kind of just showed up one day, like sophomore, freshman year, and they were just like, oh, this kid's playing some travel football. It was kind of a big thing in the Cleveland area. He went to New Heights too. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah,
knew
we've
that.
had this discussion. Yeah.
I thought they shouted out. Didn't
They did.
like,
Yeah.
They shouted out Mizzou.
They shouted out Mizzou when he committed there. Yeah, this has been a known fact.
Yeah, so the Kelsey brothers did that, and so I wish once I have those stories again, I'll read back on some of those quotes because I talked to like every coach of these freshmen except for Javion Hilson, so I have like a bunch of backlogged information on a lot of them. I didn't get to throw out my like one concern, possible concern.
Oh yeah,
I did like what Payton mentioned about the offensive line. I'm glad he brought that up because that was something you still don't know who's going to be in the trenches. I would maybe say just temper expectations of Ahmad Hardy. That's my thing. The one concern is that you are moving up a level. He did play against some power forward schools last year. There's a lot of photos of him playing against Auburn. I just say like don't expect I'm just my idea is that guys in the SEC probably tackle a lot better than they do in the Sun Belt. And so that's my idea is that I would just say temper some expectations. We try to do this every year with the running backs. I know Curtis Luper is a wizard to a lot of people and what he does and what he's been around. And this is another thing that came up. Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders are two running backs that he played with at Oklahoma State. All these Mizzou running backs have like an outlet to those guys. They still kind of talk to them. They can go to them if there's something there. I learned this too. Cody Schrader and Thurman Thomas have a great relationship. Like they talk a good amount, like all the time. I don't think that's been mentioned before. So there's a lot of, resources there. I just think just my like one concern is maybe that, maybe not set the bar too high for Ahmad Hardy.
Your concern is that I'm getting too excited about Ahmad.
Yeah. I'm just telling everyone maybe temper expectations just a little bit. He'll probably run like crazy against a lot of these teams early on. I'm just saying once you get to the heart of the SEC play, don't get like surprised if maybe there isn't like a 150-yard running game.
For those curious, his numbers in 2 games against Power 4, mentioned the game against Auburn, 15 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown in that game. That's not bad, I think, actually.
No.
Against Texas, which Texas had like a really damn good defense last year, I should preface. 10 carries for 30 yards. No touchdowns there. Tougher game there.
All that's fine and dandy. And you know what? If he has an 800-yard season and Mizzou could still be very great with that, I'm going to just still watch my highlights and continue to buy my real estate on on Ahmad Hardy.
I think I talked myself into being a Marquise Davis.
I think that's what,
great believer.
We're all in. I think our investment has been made as a collective here. So.
Yeah, but Tavoris Jones is left-handed.
Oh,
Payton, you're left-handed.
I am left-handed. Do you know why I'm left-handed? Because I just picked up the ball and started throwing it and didn't realize it was unique to throw left-handed, and now I'm used to it.
There you go. 2 out of 3 of the unwritten rule, southpaws. There you go. All right. There's your running back preview. I'll probably, after we finish the show, go watch my Ahmad Hardy highlights again. But until then, we will finish the show with quick hits. Okay, quick hits time. We'll finish out the show. Kenny, you have our Ken Sports Shorts. It's our trivia. I'm going to throw out, I came up with a bonus question because if you can see on the YouTube, we don't have all the Daily Dozen questions.
Okay. So there will be 9.
I have a bonus question and I don't know the answer. So I guess I've seen the question, so I've thought about it more, but I don't know the answer. It's mostly for Payton. So we'll see if Payton can get it.
This was dumb. I didn't even bring this up, but Ahmad Hardy was named to the Maxwell Award.
Yeah, I meant to put that on my list. I totally meant to put that on my doc, and I forgot. Yes, only Mizzou player.
Yep. So it's presented annually to the college football player, judged by a panel of sportscasters, sports writers, and National Collegiate Athletic Association head coaches. And the Maxwell Club.
We, the Unwritten Rule, do not have a vote, for the record. No. But I would take one. Yes, he was. That happened. We're recording this, like we said, Monday afternoon. That happened like an hour ago. I forgot to throw that on the list, but very talented player, Ahmad Hardy. All right, Kenny, take it away on the quiz.
NFL. David Deal, Kevin Booth, David Bass, Chris Snee, and Kareem McKenzie were the starting offensive line for what team in a 2010 Super Bowl?
My first guess is the Saints.
That's what my first guess was too. I don't
Okay.
know why, because I think I saw 2010, and
I feel like
I
Chris
don't.
Snead played.
It's not. There
Okay.
was. I would. They had Jari Evans on that O line who was like a Hall of Famer.
Maybe the Colts. Who they played?
Deal.
I don't think it was a Colts.
It
I think
doesn't
Saturday
say.
would be on there, right?
Oh yeah. You're right.
For
2010s.
what team in a Super Bowl?
Steelers, Cardinals. I'm just throwing out teams. That are in Super
I'm
Bowls
like
early in
thinking it's Cardinals because David Deal is the most familiar.
that. Oh yeah. Okay. That's right.
It's not Super Bowl winner. Okay, yeah, that's a tough one. That's a good question.
NBA. This big man led the NBA in blocks per game in 2001, 2003, and 2004 while playing for the 76ers, Hawks, and Trailblazers.
Ooh.
Is this Ben Wallace?
No.
No.
No?
No, I don't think it's Ben Wallace.
No.
Wasn't he a Piston?
Yeah, Ben Wallace. Is
1.2?
Oh yeah, he
it's
was.
not,
a
it's not
Piston.
Ben Wallace. Man. Wow, this is tough. I'm trying to think of a early 2000 76ers. I don't think it's Elton Brand.
It's someone who was a journeyman, because that is 3 teams in 4 seasons.
Yeah. I thought Dikembe for a minute, but that's
I
what I
thought
thought
Dikembe
too.
because
Too
two of
new.
those teams, but
He also played for the Nuggets. Oh man. I'm gonna be mad when I get it, or when the answer comes out. Chris Kaman played for those teams.
No
That's
shot.
definitely wrong. No, that's not right. He never led the NBA in blocks. Greg Oden before he got injured. No, he played for the Trailblazers. I don't think that's right either. But
We'll just go with Greg
definitely
Oden.
all right,
I think
we'll
I
come
know
back.
the answer to the NFL one.
Okay, we'll double down.
I don't think we'll be able to because it's broken. College basketball. Julius Hodge and TJ Warren won ACC Player of the Year for the school in the 2000s and 2010s,
Where did
respectively.
TJ Warren go?
This one.
It's not NC State, is it, Peyton?
Yep, it is.
That
Go
is where
Pack.
TJ Warren went? Nice.
TJ Warren was a sensation at NC State.
Yeah. All right. We got one.
Cars, the Cube, Quest, and Juke are discontinued models from this
I know
automobile
this.
brand. I know it.
I know it too. I know this too.
Yeah,
Peyton,
since
you
we
have a
all
guess?
know it, why don't you go ahead and just type it in?
Come on, throw out a guess.
Go
Any
ahead.
car brand.
I almost said, because I saw the word juke, I almost said box immediately because
Jukebox.
Cube is a box. Quest, I don't know, but
It is a-
jukebox.
I didn't know they were all discontinued.
I didn't know that either.
You're gonna have to.
I
just put
still
it. I
see.
have no idea.
I
Is
still
it a
see.
Volkswagen?
No, it's not a bad guess, but it is Nissan. Is the answer. I still see
Not a
Nissan cubes from time to time
Mhm.
driving around.
Me too. That's why I guess I just thought they were still around, but they're just probably used.
Yeah.
Snacks and candy. While the American version of this popular chocolate bar comes in a brown wrapper with green print, the UK version comes in a blue wrapper with white print.
Ooh. This is gonna have to be you guys. I'm not a candy.
Brown
Not a
wrapper.
candy savant.
That is the
Brown and-
biggest lie ever. You like candy more than anyone in this.
What?
Dude, you are eating M&Ms more
That's
than any
that's
person
my
I know.
only candy. Like it's just those.
brown and green.
I have one vice.
I don't know.
It's not Hershey's, obviously. It's not spearmint. I don't think.
Is a Milky Way
No.
brown and green?
That's what I was thinking.
Milky Way's green.
Oh, I guess that is true.
Correct?
Wait, yeah, it is. I've
Boom.
seen
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
other version
thinking.
of the Milky Way wrapper.
I've never seen it. Television. This man received a Best Actor nomination
Aw.
for the 2025 Apple TV series The Studio.
Come on, y'all got it. Y'all got
Yeah,
it.
I got
never
it.
watched
Go
The
ahead,
Studio.
Kenny.
Is this John Hamm?
No, it should be Seth Rogen, but unless he didn't, because he produced it and he is in it. Okay, yeah, okay.
Movies. Warwick Davis played a dwarf farmer, little person, farmer, turned aspiring magician who teams up with a warrior played by Val Kilmer in this 1988 fantasy adventure film.
Oh, turned aspiring magician. I don't know. I don't know.
either.
Top Gun. It's a Val Kilmer movie.
It's just like
I'm gonna cheat. And look
one
this
of
up.
the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah,
I
it says.
I don't think Val Kilmer's in any of the Lord of the Rings movies. Is he? Maybe.
No, I don't think so.
I'll look it up.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness, look at this.
Oh,
Music. The lonely stoner seems to free his mind at night is a repeated lyric from this 2008 Kid Cudi song, Jack.
Shout out the United Center for one of my favorite concerts ever where I saw him live. This is Day and Night by Kid Cudi.
The worst version.
The worst version of this song?
Yeah. Isn't it this version, Day and Night?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Okay. We got to put a movie one in just in case it lets us.
Wait, I was looking up Val Kilmer when that came up. Hold on, I'll find it.
Okay, so Jack.
You let Payton try the NFL one.
I think the NFL one, because I know who Deal is. I know that name, and I think it would be like the Giants team that beat the Patriots, if I had to guess.
You are correct.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know any of those other names, but I know Deal's name.
I still can't find it. I don't know what the Val Kilmer one.
Theo Ratliff.
Theo Ratliff.
Wow.
Awesome. A Theo Ratliff question.
Willow.
Wow, Val Kilmer's in some weird movies. I think it is.
We gotta hear Jack's.
That's 2004.
We already looked it up, Jack.
Oh, what was it? I was looking at my phone.
Willow.
Trying to find it. Willow. Oh. All right.
What's your bonus question?
Oh, my bonus question. This is mostly for Payton. Payton, I can give you. It is multiple choice, but if you just know it, you can just say it before I give the options.
Okay.
What is the PGA record for the highest score on a par 4?
Oh, Kevin Na had it. It was a.
Oh wow, this just has the score. I just I just have the number, but good for you if you know it.
I believe Kevin Na shot like a 17 once or a 16.
16 is correct. On April 14th, 2011, Kevin Na played the worst ever par 4 hole on a PGA Tour course since the tour began by recording hole-by-hole scores in 1983.
He has a very funny video where he talks about it because he knew immediately off the box it was a horrible shot.
Sure.
And so he just got stuck in the woods and was trying to just pitch out of there. He had driven out of bounds. He had to go back to the tee, drive it back into the woods. And he was like, I'm not going back to the tee. And he just kept hitting it around in the woods because he just kept hitting it off branches. And by the end of it, he's not even angry. A lot of golfers would just withdraw or break a club or something. He just was joking with his caddy. And he was like, I don't know how we're going to count all that. I guess we'll just figure it out later. And that we moved on.
That's so
Kevin
funny.
Na, I know. I've seen that video. Kevin
it was
Na.
the 9th hole at the Valero Texas Open, by the way, if you're wondering the course. Tigers in the Wild. Kenny, good job, Payton.
Thank you.
My Tiger in the Wild goes to Richie Swain, the newest Missouri baseball commit out of high school. He was a Mississippi State commit at one point. I think it's cool that he has a photo here. So he definitely visited beforehand during a football game. And my thing I was trying to figure out, because I assume this is just like him and his little brother at the game. I'm trying to figure out what game this was.
Oh, it's like that guy on TikTok that does the NFL stadiums.
So I think that's Mizzou's uniform in there, right?
Yeah, that
it's
looks
white pants, black jerseys. Peyton, was that a home game last year? Was that
could have been LSU in 23?
Oh, in 23, yeah, because it looks like there's purple on the sidelines.
And it doesn't look like there's a stripe on the pants. I remember they notably wore stripeless white pants against LSU.
They are wearing. I've just Googled images from the game. It is stripeless white pants with
but
the black
thing
jersey
is,
and the black helmet.
that was like an early season game. I don't think he'd need a coat like he's wearing in that photo.
It was cold, wasn't it? Because it was like windy. I remember Chase went to this game. Our friend Chase Madison, who's been on the show, he was banned at one point. He went to the game, and I remember he had to wear a jacket, and he was wearing because it was cold.
Was it really cold? Wow.
It might have been just windy. I think
it was October 7th.
Oh, look, the
October game. Okay.
The flag is blowing because it's hard to try to remember it, Peyton, because the one LSU game we went to was the hottest game of all time.
That is true. I was gonna throw up in our friend Aaron's car because I was I got way overheated.
Saturday, October 7th, was 57 degrees.
Okay.
I think we might have gotten it then.
So.
Yeah. I will note.
Yeah. Anything on the commitment?
Yeah, I was going to say we should probably talk about him as a player.
Guy.
This is from Premier Pitching Performance. It was a start he had on April 22nd. 7 innings, 0 runs. He was up to 95 on his fastball in that game. And he was still a Mississippi State commit at that time. Of course, I do need to mention he is from Wentzville. 2 Ks in the first inning of work. This goes back to August 2024, where his fastball was just sitting around 91, 93 with his breaking pitches around 77 to 79. So he's added some velo over the past year. Tall, lanky right-hander. If you're watching with us on the YouTube, pretty wicked stuff.
Yeah, I like seeing up to 95. I mean, that's a legit pitch. I like the idea of Mizzou just kind of grabbing guys that have good stuff and seeing what happens, honestly. I mean, that retweet on his page from 2024, even if he's sitting 90 to 93, that'll play. I mean, the SEC is very tough, but it's a legit pitch.
It looks like he's wearing Mizzou colors in that clip. He's got the black and gold on the.
I think the perfect game showcase, you probably wear color from the region you're coming from.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, there you go. Newest Mizzou baseball commit. Payton, your Tiger in the Wild.
Tiger in the Wild, who now kind of doesn't even count as a Tiger in the Wild. It's another Mizzou baseball quick hit as Jacob Pruitt, a Mississippi State transfer who had committed to Missouri in the portal. He officially signed with the Phillies, according to Mississippi State Baseball. They posted on X, signed Jacob Pruitt. Pruitt is officially a member of the Phillies organization. So Jacob Pruitt will not make his way to Missouri.
It was a 1-for-1 swap. Swain was originally committed to Mississippi State. He's going to stay home.
There you go.
Mizzou. Mizzou doesn't get Jacob Pruitt. Swain is in the class of 2025, so he'll pitch next year.
Well, so it was like a 1-for-1. I mean, not really, because Mississippi State just gets nothing. It was like a 1-for-0.
They get to put that they had a player
That's
drafted.
True. That's
a
you're
positive
right.
for the
you're
program.
Right. You're right. That grows their program.
We can just say former future. We'll always say former future.
I was going to say he's now added to the pool. We did that draft last year. Maybe my favorite Mount Rushmore of former future Missouri Tigers, and now Jacob Pruitt is added to the pool. I'll write that whole list down one day.
The Devin Williams Mizzou baseball former future list.
Yes. It's named after him.
We should start a former future guests of the Unwritten Rule too, because I was thinking about this earlier when I mentioned Nate Noel, who, I mean, unfortunately, his NFL career kind of in limbo at the moment because he was waived by the Dolphins on Monday when we're recording this. Former future guest almost came on the Unwritten Rule one time.
Yeah, Drew Lock.
What?
Wait.
No.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. Drew Lock was on.
Almost. When did this happen?
Jack tried.
There was discussions.
Yeah, there were talks.
Okay, discussing having someone on is a little different.
Chase Daniel, that was a close one.
Chase Daniel was a discussion.
Doesn't follow through with that one, but maybe.
I'm trying to think if there's any other ones.
I could
talk
really
up.
have this.
I bet I could trick Payton into thinking I've tried for just about anybody.
We should do a Mount Rushmore of guests that have been on the Unwritten Rule. One is going to be Moon Choi, so whoever gets the first pick will just say that. I saw him yesterday at he came to media day for fall camp.
Maybe we exclude him. Maybe it's the Moon Choi Mount Rushmore of former Unwritten Rule guests.
I think Ben Sternberg has to be on that list.
Well, he can be on your big board, but if you don't get the pick, you don't get the pick. But
Ian Wheeler, obviously, despite my
You're not allowed to make that.
I know
pick.
I can't.
You're definitely not allowed to make that
it's
pick.
Absolutely my fault, but he was a good guest.
All right. Well, Jacob Pruitt, former future Missouri Tiger. My Tiger in the Wild is going to be Brooke Wilmez, obviously a softball name from our early days at Mizzou. She was inducted into the Iowa Softball Hall of Fame the other day. Pretty cool post from Mizzou softball. She was a 5-time first-team All-State selection in Iowa. In high school, if you're wondering why that is, a lot of very talented, most softball teams in Iowa have 8th graders that play. And so she was a first team All-State member as an 8th grader, which is just wild. Playing for Johnson, which is a big high school too in Iowa. So it was a great outfielder for Mizzou. 3-time first team All-SEC selection when she was there. She was 3rd-team All-American one year, 41 homers. Definitely a big part of that kind of early softball dominance at the start of the 2020s. So congrats to Brooke Wilmez, a rightfully earned honor. Hopefully softball can get back to those heights. There you go. Headlines. If you have, I thought I heard Payton start to say something, but
I was going to say, I mean, she's associated with a very
good era.
For Mizzou
Excellent
softballs.
era. Headlines. Kenny.
Man, I'm so bad at trying to find articles. Why isn't there an aggregator out there writing about this and I can use it? So this one necessarily isn't a
You just need
headline.
to start shamelessly plugging your own stuff, man. I'm just gonna say it.
Well, I don't think
If you
we
want
wrote about
headline-
this. I don't think we wrote about this.
No, but like if you didn't want, this is a good headline. This is good
Yeah.
news. But if you just want a literal headline to read, I don't think we can refute you for plugging your own work.
That's okay.
I'm just saying.
But
I'm
game
gonna
6.
I'm gonna start doing his headlines as my.
What's the
headline.
damn headline?
Mizzou sells out Alabama game.
Breaking? Is there a breaking on there?
Breaking news : inbox : trending : I don't know, whatever you want to go with. Okay, Mizzou football sold out their 6th game of the season. It's the first sellout they have so far this year. 11 a.m. kickoff Central Time at Memorial Stadium, October 11th, 2025.
Thank you.
There you go. Good job on your headline. Tide coming to town. That'll be interesting. He left the chat. He left the room. Get back in here. Payton, what's your headline? This is big news.
My headline, this is very big news. Mizzou extends contract of head football coach Eli Drinkwitz. This comes directly from mutigers.com. That's pretty much cut and dry the news there. Drinkwitz got an extension through the 2029 season. The main thing here, I think of note, was the enhanced salary pool for the assistant coaches and just the staff in general. That seemed to be a big thing Drinkwitz talked about and was very pleased to get.
Yeah, even that like almost goes over my head when, you had the Blake Baker situation where it literally didn't matter how much they were willing to give him because LSU made him the highest paid assistant. So, but yeah, that is very good news. I mean, you have we have a new ticker apparently that we're trying out on the producer Kenny.
I love that. That's awesome.
We need to start incorporating this more. I like the tag by it's also blue, which is just not our.
Yeah, that's for a
Anyway,
different
it's the
show
way
that
that
uses this
show.
studio. The for the people that are listening to the podcast, not watching on the YouTube, I put a banner that says "Breaking : Drinkwitz extended 4 days ago."
News :
breaking : Listen, we're a 2-week pod. We gotta play catch up sometimes. This is good news. I mean, it's not surprising. He's won 21 games in 2 seasons. I mean, it's gonna lead to some good things. But I do hope, Payton, to your point, that the extended kind of player or the extended pool for assistants does help in keeping some of those guys that are valuable staffers for Mizzou football. So there you go. Eli Drinkwitz extended. My headline of the week reads as follows: Sam Horn signs with Los Angeles Dodgers. See, Kenny, this is how you do it. I aggregated you guys for the headline. Shout out Kyle from Mizzou today. So yeah, this is kind of the big, I mentioned at the top, we'd have quarterback news. This is kind of the big news. He did end up signing Sam Horn. We've talked about it before when he got drafted by the Los Angeles Dodgers, that he had that, I believe it was the 28th was the deadline to sign. He did end up signing $497,500 is how much he signed for. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, the main headline here, he is still able to play football this fall. Eli Drinkwitz now said, what is it, chase 3 dreams? Is that football, baseball at Mizzou, and baseball in the pros? Is that the 3 dreams? Or
no,
is it academics?
It's the saying they have, the chase 2 dreams.
No, I know
that's
that.
their saying in general.
I forgot the other one is academics.
So the saying is that you're chasing a career in football and a career after football.
I got it. I forgot about it.
And now Sam Horn is chasing 3 careers.
He was always chasing 3.
So he is still obviously playing. He's I know there was a quote in Kyle's story. He said, "I'm just ready for football season." And obviously he's in the thick of a quarterback battle. What are y'all's thoughts on this? I don't imagine that Sam Horn will be suiting up, or if he even can suit up for Mizzou baseball again now. So, it'll be interesting, where this quarterback battle goes in terms of how his future is dictated, right? Because you'd have to think, again, pure speculation here. If he doesn't win it, does he just go end up and play baseball? It's an interesting development as we kind of enter this quarterback battle for him on the gridiron, but good for him overall as well. Obviously, being able to sign a big contract and go pro for baseball. I guess not officially, but at least opting to sign. What are y'all's takes on this kind of situation here for Sam Horn?
Yeah, I mean, it's important to note, like you said, Jack, he can still play football. He could even play football not just in 2025. If he wants to come back for 26, he can. It does not stop him from playing football. It is a little sad, like personally, that he can't play baseball anymore, because he was always a pretty interesting watch when he pitched at Mizzou. The stuff is absolutely there. I mean, we had Kenny and I talked to Jim Callis about Sam Horn a couple months ago now on the show, and Jim Callis said, I mean, scouts love his athleticism. Scouts like the pitch mix. It's just that, I mean, he hadn't pitched hardly at all at Mizzou. He has the football thing going on. That obviously played a factor. I think it makes sense for him to sign personally. Maybe he could have come back to Mizzou and boosted his stock even more on the mound, but he's going to a great pitching dev organization, and he doesn't stop him from still going after the quarterback position at Missouri. So I think it works out for him well. He has professional path to in baseball now, and I think he would have been. I think it's smart for him to kind of keep his options open like that.
One of my favorite things I got to ask him, I mean, I just went up to him like when he was done with the radio interview, and I was like, I just want to talk baseball. That's all I want to talk to him about. And he mentioned like he really relied more on his four-seam fastball this past year because it was such a short time coming back from Tommy John surgery. He didn't really have a full season at all his final year, and now saying final year playing baseball for Mizzou. But a big thing is like he went to the combine for one day. Drinkwitz brought him back. Wanted to get him back into practices during the summer before they went on a break before fall camp. It took a month off in July. And he was just so excited. Like it just sounded like, he's been dreaming about this moment. He's not just playing baseball because he's good at it. It's also something like he's passionate about too. It's not just football. I know we run into a lot of guys like Bryce Betcher, Kyler Murray's where, they have the opportunity to play both. They have opportunity to make a lot of money in baseball and go play it and, chase that dream. But a lot of the times, a lot of these guys like football a little bit more, but we don't know that just yet on where he's going to go. And I think you'll start to get a better feeling as, the season comes to a close, no matter who's the starting quarterback, what the future holds beyond December. But, interesting case of, I don't know like what to make of what's going to happen when he gets in the Dodgers system. Like Payton said, they do have a pretty good pitcher development program. I saw some fun tweets that said and expect him in 2027 to be the setup man for the Dodgers. So I know some people are pretty excited about him, just what he brings. But he mentioned too, he thought he only played for a short period of time. He didn't think he'd be ranked again, as a top, baseball recruit. He remembers, he knows very well that he was, sought after out of high school. And then he was top 200 again. I mean, this guy's a phenomenal talent on the football field and on the gridiron.
He's on the football field and the gridiron too.
Yeah, they call that the baseball field now.
Oh, is that what they call it?
Right.
Yes. Oh, right. Of course. Yeah, I mean, you can't help but just, you kind of root for him given the adversity he's kind of faced. And it's nice that these pathways are still both there for him. And I think that is a credit to him. I mean, Kenny, you mentioned the ranking stuff. Like that doesn't just happen. People don't, that's not just based on where you were ranked before, right? Like you got to work your way, even in the short window you get dealing with injuries, you got to work your way and work hard to earn that. So yeah, I think it's a credit to him, and we'll see. That means, I would expect that work ethic to translate to pushing Bo Perbula really hard in this quarterback battle. And then from there, hopefully he can be successful, whether it's coming back in 2026 for football along with the Dodgers or just going straight to baseball, whatever it is. It's nice that he has those three dreams, those pathways, as Eli Drinkwitz says. Do you guys know, this might be, sorry if this is an unknown answer, for 2026, does he just go, so after football season, he probably goes right to wherever, if it's low A or whatever level for the Dodgers. And then if he came back to Mizzou football in 2026, what does that look like then for his summer? Does he have to split that training up? Do you guys know?
We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
It really entirely depends on what the Dodgers and him kind of want to do, I'd imagine.
Yeah, for a timeline. That'd be quite something. That'd be an interesting story to follow if you're like a from Mizzou or a Dodgers perspective, if it happens. Obviously, that's a long way away, but we'll see. It's exciting for Sam Horn. But yeah, that was another big piece of news. We'll get into more fall camp kind of musings from the coaches and stuff like that as we do these position previews. Just figured it's best to kind of put those comments out there when we're talking about the actual position group instead of just dumping it all at once, even though I know there was a lot that came out from those coach conversations from the other day. But we'll have plenty more as fall camp keeps going, as we keep rolling with these position previews. Again, apologies for the delay. We'll be back on normal programming bright and early Friday morning for a new show will drop. For you, we're doing offensive line is the next position group for Mizzou football. And yeah, that'll do it for the Unwritten Rule for another day. Like and subscribe if you're watching on the YouTube. Give us a follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that. Big things coming. Very excited for the fall for Mizzou football and all the coverage we can bring for it. So enjoy, and we will see you next time.
This one comes from our favorite TV series, The Today Show.
Nice, Payton.
You thought you could get away with that. Oh, I almost had you. Guys, what did the mama cow say to the baby cow?
Move over.
Next. Got a guess, Kenny?
Like, what's the context? What
did the mom cow say to the baby cow?
Want milk?
No. Here, I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a little more context. It is getting late, okay? Baby cow probably needs to go to sleep. What does the mama cow say to the baby
cow? I'm going to go jump over the moon now because it's nighttime.
Next. Any guesses, Kenny?
No guesses.
It's past your bedtime.
That's dumb. That's dumb.
Past your bedtime.
So many better cow puns can be made in that context.
What?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But better than that one.
Everyone's a critic, folks.
Al Roker did not cook. All right. That'll do it for the Unwritten Rule. I'm signing off now before we analyze this joke for too long. All right. See you next time. Bye.